week. It's another Monday, and I hope that you've all had a great weekend. Now, as you know, I like to, at the start of the week, or I've done it for a few weeks now, give you a little insight into what we've got planned. Of course, those plans can always change because life is always full of surprises here. No, we've got Annie. Morning greeting from Annie. So as always, we'll be looking after all the boys and girls, getting as many of them up here and out and about as we can do to give them a change of scenery. We'll be doing, hello gorgeous, hello, all their essential checkups. You know, we always call them pamper sessions, but they are a really vital part of their day-to-day care. You know, checking them over for lumps and bumps, and Annie always has a few, don't you, darling? And helping them get rid of that winter coat, doing their stretches and exercises. Hey, he's a gorgeous girlie. Oh, she's a gorgeous girlie. Neck scratches. So Nero's still on his controlled exercise regime, going on the walker each day, doing a bit of gentle groundwork 4 to 5 times a week. He is getting a little bit bored now, especially watching everybody else going out and about into the fields. So I've got a few plans to spice it up a little bit for him this week, give him a little bit of a change of scenery. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning. Obviously, I'll have to see how he feels and how that leg's doing, but we'll try and make it a little bit more interesting this week. So, as usual, we'll bring you as many live updates as we can through the week. Perfect timing. I was going to say, it's not going to be quite as peaceful because we've got Tony back this week. He's back off holiday and he's going to start on all that groundwork for the lodge up at the top end of the arena. So it is going to be a bit noisy, but at least it looks like we've got a few more dry days ahead of us, which will obviously make that work a little bit easier and obviously makes our life and all the boys and girls' life a little bit more comfortable. Tony's also going to be, hello Princey, levelling out some of that ground in the Hoitze Jubbers garden, just because it all needs to be done before those wonderful pavers go down. So that's also on his agenda for the week. It was really lovely having Jane and Neil here last week. Obviously sad to see them go yesterday, but I'm pleased to report that they didn't smuggle Hannes into the back of the car. He is still here, but I know that he's going to be missing the extra pampering. I'm going to come back to you in a minute because I just need to go and feed everybody. There we go. Nice little top up. I think we need to clean your blanket this week as well. It's looking a little bit grubby. So over the weekend, Frey and Kate took care of everyone, while I actually had a couple of days away with Bailey and Tamara. Bailey's got a really busy week ahead. He's not only got school assessments, starting with maths on a Monday morning, what fun. So he's got that all week, but he's also performing at the Ulverston Festival on Tuesday and Thursday, so that's quite exciting for him and for me, but quite a full-on week for him. What else? On Tuesday, we've got Tom coming in to do some stone carving, and he's very kindly agreed to let us film, which will be a real treat to be able to share that with you because it's such a dying art. On Thursday, we're taking the first step towards producing this year's Haylage, and this is something that I've been planning for a while, along with our neighbour Philip. But a huge thank you to everyone who supported us last year on that Haylage production. We made around about, I think it was 120 bales, of which we got 52 sponsored by all of you, so that made a massive difference. This year, our very generous, infamous, anonymous donor has actually kick-started the campaign with a very generous £360 towards the cost of getting that work started, hopefully this week. So that's it for now, though, as always, we'll see how the week unfolds and see what surprises it has for us. I hope you'll join us for the updates, whether it's on the group or on YouTube, and we do love to see all your comments. Can't always reply to them, but we do make sure that we read as many of them as we can. So I hope you all... Hida's pulling faces back there. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'm excited to see what this week holds for us here at the sanctuary. There you go, young man. You can have Hidda babysitting for a little while. Did you have a tough weekend, darling? Hey? Is it tiring Monday morning? Give Annie kisses as well. Annie, that's mean. Yeah, we got a little dow in Maybelline. Look at that pretty plait in Maple's mane. Oh, Mabel, you're pulling faces at Dow. And that's the start of the groundwork that Tony's doing to prep for the lodge arriving, hopefully next week. It's time for a leg trim now. Hey, pretty girl. Dow gets very, very hairy legs. She often gets very dry, flaky skin at the back of her knees here. Some of them get it in their feathers, but she tends to get it at the back of the knees. So we'll clip this all out, give them a wash, and put any cream on just to soften any dry skin that's in this area. I always think with her it's really sad that she has this very thin mane. The front bit's lovely, but this bit has never grown well. Yet she has a great big thick long tail. Her brother Wouter was much the same. And then Annie's here to supervise, aren't you, darling? Yeah. You had your legs clipped the other day, so they don't need doing again yet. All clipped out now. Now just a nice little wash. Look, it's the lovely wonky Yodel. I can call her wonky just because of her wonky shoulders. We've done some groundwork in the arena today, working on those tummy muscles, because the tummy's a little bit big at the moment, isn't it, Yodel? Yeah? She's such a sweetheart, aren't you? Now we're heading back down, out with the rest of the girlies. So although we've got Tony doing all the work up at the top end of the arena, it's actually been surprisingly quiet here today. Jodie and Hazel took Nika and Inna out this morning for a bit of a walk. Mabel's done some groundwork. Iceman's doing some now. I did a little bit with Doubtson after I'd clipped her legs and tidied her up. And we're just heading down to go and get Micah in. Kate's done a fantastic job harrowing the poops in all the fields. Well, not all the fields, but the 14-acre where all the girls are. And down in the orchard here. In fact, she's poo-picked the whole field, which isn't something that we often get to do. She very kindly went round and picked up all Hoitze Jubbers droppings that they've done over the last few days. You can see over there all the beautiful fencing around everybody's memorial tree. And I know I keep saying it, but I promise you we will bring you the opportunity to sponsor each of the horses very soon. Come on, Yodel, you're not going in that field. There's tasty grass coming through there now, and we can even see the start of the cow parsley beginning to grow here. So soon we'll get all those beautiful white cow parsley flowers growing up the road that they all thoroughly enjoy munching on. Come on, Yodel. Oh, someone's having a roll on the right there. Can't quite see who it is. You can just see the legs going up in the air. Hello, girlies. Oh, is it down? I think it was. Have you come down to see Yodel? I've never known a march as dry as this. The ground is rock solid. That never happens at this time of year. I'm definitely not complaining about it. Oh, little Mabes has had a replat. There's Spesh. Hello, Speshy. Beautiful girl. Mm. Hello, Mai. Are you going to come in? Yeah? Do you want to come in and do a little bit? She's a very pretty girl. Yeah? I went to IKEA yesterday, bought a cupboard to go in the kitchen. How's the IKEA construction going?
It's not going so badly. Shaky start, but yeah.
We're on a roll now.
All right.
I'm worried you've got a hammer now.
You should be.
Yeah.
You should be worried. It's my hand. My goodness. Come on.
I'm so glad you've decided to tackle this, because it's my least favourite thing to do.
I have no idea.
You told me that you had lots of idea about furniture.
I've said I've done it before.
Yeah?
And it did work.
Okay.
It did take all afternoon.
Fair enough.
You would get a cabinet, but I am very thankful for Hazel's situation.
I look forward to seeing it in place. Look at that. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well done. Oh, we're testing your relaxation skills to the limit today, aren't we, Mai? You've got Tony at the back there with his digger. And then Michael coming over here with his manatee. You're licking and chewing. And she says there's an awful lot going on. Isn't there, darling? You are a good girl. Just relax. That's it, good girl. Nero has to have his pre-groundwork session. Silly couple of minutes. Shh. Good. Good boy. So he makes out he wants to roll. And then sometimes he has a little dance around. Sometimes he has a roll. He's very excited this evening. There's lots of different noises going on. Good boy. If you want to have a roll, it's fine. So he'll do all these different movements as a form of procrastination. But he's not silly, he stays within my area and doesn't try to drag me off. And you know, this is just the general frustration he's got at the moment because he's bored, which is why I want to mix it up a little bit this week. But we're going to start off with a usual groundwork session. That was quite rude. Sorry, I just needed to stop filming there, otherwise he would have got away. And we don't want that to happen, do we, Nero? Eh? He looks suitably guilty now. Right, let's do a little bit of groundwork before any more silliness. Tony's made great progress on this today. All of this soil will get moved tomorrow before this gets filled in, because this is where the pad is going to go. That's a lot of soil, as you can see over here. This is already so much neater with a good drainage channel down here that is piped up to bring all this water down and across to the little, I like to think of it as a little moat around the arena. So the little drainage channel that goes all the way around the edge. So it all feeds into that. And we have another bit of pipe work here, because there is an awful lot of water that comes off this field. It's all drained through there. So it's kind of major excavations. But this way the lodge is going to sit that little bit further back so that it doesn't block this gorgeous bullpen that hopefully one day we'll be able to renovate before the roof collapses. Now, as we move into March and into spring, I'm very conscious that we need to start getting on top of the land management if we're going to produce some good quality haylage again this year. Now, you might remember last year I talked about the need for us to get lime on the land, and I've been making some inquiries recently, and Philip has got back to me with some prices and availability as well as quantities of what we're going to need. So I've been using this evening this fabulous tool that DEFRA provide called Magic Maps. And on here, I'm able to look at all of our land. So this is the farm over here. And then this area here is where the boys are. So their shelter is down on this section here. But this used to be split into 3 paddocks, which is why it's got the lines on it. But it's got a really good measuring tool on here, so I can go onto here and measure the exact areas that we need to get spread with lime to improve the pH of the soil, which will then improve the quality of the grass that's growing. Now obviously this isn't one of our haylage fields. If I just get rid of that, This is our main haylage field. This is our memorial orchard. And then going down here, this is the girls' 14-acre field. So I've measured this all out this evening and calculated what is the most essential for us to do. And I know that we need to improve the quality of the grass everywhere because the soil is all a little bit too acidic. So we're going to need 2 tons of lime per acre. Now the boys' field is about 4.5 acres, the memorial orchard just over 1, the main haylage field 8.5, and then it goes on. Then we've got the barn field, and then the girls' field, the 14-acre, and what we call the long field. Now to do all of those would be around about 40 acres. Now the most essential are obviously the haylage fields, so the 14-acre field and what we call the 9-acre field where the muck heap is, or muck mountain is. But I am quite keen to do some of the other areas where they graze quite a lot, as well as the memorial orchard, because I think that will also help the trees that are growing down there. So a couple of the fields like the barn field and the long field, you know, the grass isn't brilliant, but it's good enough for grazing. It's not too rich. It's all old meadow grass. So I've worked out that really we want to be doing essentially about 33 acres. So we can get the lime delivered in lorry loads, which is a little bit cheaper than having it delivered in big ton bags. If we go for doing the 33 acres, obviously we're going to need 66 tonne of the lime. Now this comes in at £36 per tonne and then £6 per tonne to be spread on the land. So to do this whole area is going to cost just short of £3,000. Now obviously that's quite a large chunk of money, but then when you think that this is going towards improving the grass and hopefully improving the production of what we're producing for the horses for the next 12 months, you'd like to think that it's money well spent. We didn't get to do the lime last year like I'd hoped to, but what we did do was we managed to get the organic fertiliser on, the super soil that you may have seen Phil came and spread for us, and we also got a lot of the muck spread on the land. So that in itself has really helped the quality of the soil, but I think the lime is something that we really do need because we haven't put lime on the land now for I think 5 or 6 years. Now, thanks to all our lovely haylage sponsors from 2024, we were able to raise £1,456 towards the cost of producing the 120 odd bales that we produced last July. I think it was July, which, you know, we're still working our way through and we've got plenty left for this year. Now, the actual cost last year, when you took into account the fertiliser, spreading the muck, the production of the haylage, was around about £3,300. Now, obviously, with getting the lime on this year, it's going to cost that little bit more. So we've obviously got up on the website where you can sponsor a bale of haylage, but we're also going to be putting on this week an option for contributing towards the lime, because that's not just for the haylage, that's also for some of the grazing land. So if you are in a position where you'd like to sponsor that or help out with it, please do head over to the website, and obviously anything that you can do to help will be very much appreciated by all of us and all of the boys and girls.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful, yeah. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears, thank you for the moments that we hold dear. Thank you for the love, thank you for the light.